how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America, premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Hour two of titillating sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour two of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome to the show author Margaret Eastman Smith. She has a new book entitled A Spectacular Inheritance, What I Kept and What I Left Behind. And this is a book about a controversial global movement entitled MRA, previously known as the Oxford Group. MRA means Moral Rearmament. Margaret, welcome to the show. And I know it's something that a lot of us haven't heard of, but it's been around for a while, and it's something that you grew up with. So now, as you've become an adult, as you look back, I guess that's what this book was about, how it helped and how it didn't?
Well, it was more than how it helped, because I actually grew up. I was born into this movement, and so my book, A Spectacular Inheritance, is about the fact that I kind of inherited this and had to figure out, maybe not so consciously as a child, but then as I grew up, how to relate to it. And so that is the story of the book.
Now, I saw that MRA played a role in Franco-Germanic reconciliation after the war. How did they do that?
Yeah, so this is such an interesting story. So this is a group of people that had come together in the 1930s, believing that they were largely a Christian group, but they were not exclusively that way. They reached out to people of other faiths, but they believed in living the values you believe in, living what you talk about. And so after World War II, they felt they wanted to create a place where French and Germans could come and meet each other and recognize their humanity and begin to find some new basis for relationship in the future. And so they acquired a kind of derelict hotel in Switzerland near Montreux in the mountains, and they got lots of volunteers to come and fix it all up. And then they went out into the various countries of Europe and invited people to come, and they had to go to as far as the Germans were concerned, they had to go to the military occupation authorities to get permission to bring people from Germany, and they did that. And so they had literally hundreds of French and Germans and coming there over the period from 1946 to 1952. And they have been credited with creating a new spirit in Europe, along with other groups who are obviously doing some similar kinds of things. So my parents were involved in that. They were largely on the French side, inviting people from France to come and then helping them navigate this conference and so on. So that was the world I was born into. I was born in Lausanne, Switzerland in 1949. And that conference center was my first home. And then they did actually a similar kind of work with Japanese and Americans following World War II, and brought quite a large delegation of Japanese to Switzerland, including the mayors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were the cities that we had bombed with the atom bomb. And so I remember many Japanese and Germans and French who were surrounding us as I was growing up. It was inspiring. I felt like this was an exciting form of living your life and being constantly engaged in the kind of big questions. That was really a great challenge for me growing up.
Why do some Hollywood types criticize it and even call it a cult, Margaret?
Well, when you're saying some Hollywood types, I think you're probably specifically talking about Glenn Close.
And Oprah.
Is that and Oprah? Well, of course, Oprah Winfrey invited Glenn onto her show, so it was really Glenn Close's story that Oprah was featuring there. The Glenn family, the Close family, got involved in this organization in the 50s, and Glenn and I are a similar age. I remember her and her two sisters and her brother very well, as we kids were all thrown together in the late 50s and early 60s. I think it was an extremely disruptive experience for her family. They had a beautiful home in Greenwich, Connecticut, and her parents sold that, and her father, who was a very successful doctor in Manhattan, abandoned his career and sort of jumped into this. So that must have been quite a disruption. I didn't experience something like that because I was just born into it. So it was just normal for me. I think also she had the problem, which was also a great asset, but she was an exceptionally gifted person and probably felt very conscious that the people around her were not really helping her to pursue her gifts or discover a path that really made sense for her. So I could well see that it was frustrating for her. I'm sad that she is so on her own, really, in processing this past. And some of others of us have gotten together and talked about it and shared experiences and so on. So I certainly, I hope one day she'll read this book, and I hope her sister Jessie, who's written a book called Resilience, will also read it. But yes, coming back to the whole question, was it a cult? I can certainly see that it developed cult-like elements. It was a very well-meaning group of people, but they were naive about the way group dynamics can kind of push a group in the direction of being tight and bounded and authoritarian and having kind of set ways of thinking you have to do things. So I do think by the end of the 1950s, it was legitimate to raise questions about the culture. I think that the group itself never had a conversation about that, and they certainly are not like that now. They've changed enormously over the past 60 years. So part of what I was doing was trying to bring into the light of day a story that nobody's really wanted to talk about. But I think it's fine to talk about it now. I think we've moved on a lot. People don't need to feel threatened by that. But it affected some of us young people quite a lot.
Well, I have 100 more questions, but I know that you're out of time. So everybody needs to pick up the book to find out more. That's what I've been told. A Spectacular Inheritance, What I Kept and What I Left Behind, from our guest, Margaret Eastman Smith. It's MES about MRA. How about that?
There you go. That's
right.
it.
Margaret, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, sure. And there used to be a lot of cults in the 70s when I was growing up, especially in California. Are you kidding me? There used to be this groupie called the Screamers, because in Camp Herms and Tilden Park and Wildcat Canyon, which is literally behind my house growing up in the El Cerrito Hills, they would have like these eyes. I'm not even kidding. They looked like Klan outfits, but they were in all black, and they'd be around and they would just scream. We called them the Screamers. And one time I was like 12 years old. We were spying on them, and they ran at us. And I remember I ran pitch black through the woods to get back to my house. And I ran through poison. I had the worst poison oak of my life. It got on my face. Why was that allowed? Why weren't you know what? They probably were cops. There are literally people in hoods, like, screaming around a fire. Oh, you gotta love Berkeley. All right. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll come back with our friend Lisa Gardner. She's got a new book.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
I honestly just got the chills as you described it again for me.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome back to the show our friend Lisa Gardner. She has a brand new thrilling novel entitled You'll Be Sorry from Grand Central Publishing. And if you're watching on YouTube or on twitch.tv, you see me holding up the book to the cameras here. Lisa, welcome back to the show. And I know that you have these characters like Frankie Elkin and Detective Dee Warren. And this has nothing to do with them. This is a standalone thriller. And I'm in a way jealous of the fact that this just shows that there are 100 books going on in your head right now, right?
Thank you so much, Rick. Not 100 books, at least 100,000 voices in my head. But yeah, no, it goes very well. Yeah, this book was a lot of fun for me. I enjoy my series characters. But this time around, I had a concept where really it has to do with small towns and how communities themselves can be the main character. I happen to live in a small town of 800 in the mountains of New Hampshire. As you can imagine, it's a hardy bunch given the winters. It's an eclectic bunch because we're semi off the grid. And in communities like that, you get a certain identity. It's one of those things where we're so remote and so cute and charming, nothing bad ever happens here. And we're so small, everyone knows everyone, except we know neither of those things are true. You know, bad things happen everywhere, and even in the cutest towns, there can be crime. We know as much as we want to believe we know our neighbors. We have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. And that sets the stage for You'll Be Sorry. We're in this picturesque community, a family of six disappeared in a blink of an eye 30 years ago, leaving behind only bloody footprints. No one's ever found them. And as much as everyone wants to say, oh, we love and trust one another, everyone also kind of knows someone must know what happened that night. And that sets the stage for here we are, a small town, secrets, distrustful neighbor, outsiders that have arrived to stir the pot. And will you discover the truth? Then will you be sorry?
I'm all in. Yeah, I could tell you've done books on tape. You have the intonations. You know what? I also have to give you a shout out because I was thumbing through the book, and on page 193, you were able to spell in a way that I understood. You were able to spell I've
I
never
love legalisms.
yeah,
I love
I've never seen it
writing the
spelled,
way
but
people talk.
yeah, I knew that it was not I knew that it was
Exactly. Exactly, because that's how we talk to one another. No, I like to think of when you read my books. I mean, these are people, and they're talking to you, and we all have our ways of communicating. A lot of it was just, sheer intonation.
So where you are, is it like septic tank and a sign that says we don't call 911 with a gun?
Pretty much, yes. You've summarized it well.
So,
and hand dug wells, which plays prominently in this book as well.
Hand dug?
Well, the old properties still have the hand dug wells.
Wow.
I'm a newer property, so I got to have mine drilled into granite. But yes, I mean, this was how the mountains of New Hampshire were settled. It was a lot of sheer grit and determination. And again, that goes into the identity of this community, where to this day there are the founding families, the people who still feel the important members of town. And there's the newer members, and then there's, in the speech of New Hampshireites everywhere, the Flatlanders, which is really to say the New Yorkers and Bostonians that come in.
So are you a newbie to that type of lifestyle, or have you always been kind of off the grid in New England?
I love the mountains. I grew up in the mountains of Oregon, so I'm new to New Hampshire, and I think we've established it will take 3 more generations before I'm considered a local. So now I'm just a curiosity and the community.
So
but again, I love this notion of the way we know but don't know each other.
Well, that's the thing too, is that as much as you know about somebody, it also, of course, is contrast that with you just sort of say, well, that's that person, that's what they do, and then you stop wondering about them, and then that's why it can be and look, also when you're off the grid, and it can be super creepy at night. There's no street lights, and it almost it can be this bucolic, beautiful place in the day, and at night super scary.
Well, it's an interesting place to set a crime. I mean, for one thing, I've always done research because of my previous novels with like FBI profilers or, urban policing, like the Boston detective Judy Warren. When you get now to these rural communities, it's community policing. I got to interview with my own local police chief, after all of these years. And it's a very different relationship-based community. It's knowing your neighbors. It's being part of things. But it's also, we don't have bells and whistles. I started referring to it as I was doing the research for this novel as DIY policing. Our law enforcement, whether it's local, state, our medical examiner's office, there's no CSI New Hampshire going to appear on television anytime soon. I mean, the forensic anthropologist who talked about, well, See, first we go to Home Depot and we buy lumber and we build whatever it is we're going to need to process the seeds. And I'm like, wait a minute, you like build your forensics tools? They're like, yeah, pretty much. And we'll call around and see if we can get someone to donate them, or we'll find someone online that maybe is a hobbyist who's willing to like lend us a drone. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is just not what I was expected at all. So, if you're trying to find a family in New Hampshire that's been missing for 30 years, it does get very entertaining very fast.
All right, so let's talk about the protagonists, Raquel and Theo. They have some problems, but they're giving it another go. They go to the Dixon family lodge. You mentioned the entire family vanished, and not giving too much away. This is in the press release. A dog finds a skeleton. So what's the first thing you do? Do you call the cops and they're like, "Yeah, that's nothing," and or do they say, "All right, we're bringing out the FBI"?
So it was so much fun. What came to me first was this couple. And I actually had this notion of, early days of the marriage where, you're so madly and passionately in love and you don't really know each other maybe as well as you should, or you haven't asked a lot of pertinent questions because you don't care. Because it's, everything is so good. But for this poor couple, tragedy struck. Something terrible happened. I actually didn't know what. I just knew at the opening of the book, you have this couple that, on the one hand, seem to love each other so much, but on the other hand, are grappling with the fact that there's all of these secrets between them and they don't know how to talk about it. They really don't know what to do. So, ergo, they decided to buy a crime scene in New Hampshire because, when all else fails, make a fresh start. Find something else to do completely. And yes, this mysterious dog shows up that may bear an uncanny resemblance to the original dog from 30 years ago, and he leads them straight to a skeleton on the property. And from there, we're off and running, and I got to talk to the medical examiner's office, who, let me tell you, again, screamingly funny. Oh, we don't have time for skeletons. Do you know how many skeletons are in the woods of New England? There's just like skeletons everywhere. What's all we could do to handle the fresh crimes? And I'm like, well, this already is not going the way I thought it would.
Wow. What's it like too, like having a book, because the cover, it looks like You'll Be Sorry is written in blood, and it's got it looks like a Stephen King, like it looks super scary. Like you don't judge a book by a cover, obviously, the old saying goes, but I mean
Well, this book is spooky.
Yeah.
I will give it that. It is a book about being haunted. It's a town that's haunted by the shadow of this 30-year-old crime. It is what was once a grand old mansion, like the jewel of the mountains, that has gone derelict, and it's now the town haunted house. It's the place the kids double dog dare each other to cross the threshold on Halloween. It is the new police chief, who's 35 years old and, despite her best of intentions, still in the same small town and now literally following in her father's footsteps, and is very much haunted by his legacy. He could never solve this case. And then we have this young couple who clearly are haunted by some kind of tragedy they can't even talk about yet.
Well, everybody needs to check out this book. Buy it today from Grand Central Publishing. You'll Be Sorry, by our guest, the beloved #1 New York Times bestselling author, Lisa Gardner. Lisa, great stuff. Thanks for coming on, and we look forward to catching up on your next effort.
Thank you so much, Rick.
All right. Good stuff. I've never been to New Hampshire. I've been to Old Hampshire in England, in Fleet and Southampton and some of those other places. I believe Winchester is also in the former capital of England during Albert the Great. That was, but anyway, I wouldn't mind checking out New Hampshire sometime. Anyway, we love Lisa Gardner. Let's take a quick break and maybe a JD Sharp sighting on the other side. So come on back on Sports Byline.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
Thanks for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast around the world on American Forces Radio Network. Our friend J.D. Sharp has joined us now. He is with Pro Wagering. They are a professional prognostication business, and they're so good they make money at it many more times than not. JD, I'd like to ask you your opinion on Paul Skeens. Obviously, he came in gangbusters like very few people have in the history of baseball. Just basically day one, he was a top 10 guy. After a year, you could argue that he might be top 3 for sure. Well, in his last 16 starts, the Buccos are 3-13. His ERA is 5. It's weird to say his velocity is down, but it's in 95 now. When I was a kid, that was fast. But, he used to be up at 98. He's down at 95. So even though we know the velo is down, the command isn't great, but the league does adjust to pitchers. So how much of it is him maybe wearing out after 4 years in college and all the pitches he's thrown, or he's trying to be too fine, or the league has just adjusted to him?
I think the league has adjusted to him. I think that he might have gotten a little bit too much hype originally. Yeah, he threw really hard. He had great stuff. He was throwing 100, 101. In college, he hit home runs for LSU, right?
Mm-hmm.
number one pick in the draft. But I really think that there's something to be said for a Mizorowski when he comes in the league. I mean, Juan Murillo is throwing 101. Mason Miller's throwing 103. There's a lot of guys throwing 101, 102, 103. So Mizorowski throwing 104, almost 105. I think that hitters are adjusting to that. And then it's making that 95, 96 feel like basically nothing. So now you have to have great location. Your fastball has to rise or it has to drop. So really, you don't really have you more have a splitter or a sinker. You don't really have a four-seam fastball at this point unless you're really going, unless you just got pinpoint location. Let's say you face a hitter like Junior Caminero, right? You go low and outside in the strike zone. He has almost no chance of hitting that. I mean, none. He's like a 175 batting average, but like high and tight, obviously down the middle and up. He's hitting almost 450, 500. So if you know your opponent and you can pinpoint your pitches really well and you can locate your pitches like Sonny Gray can, well, then you've got a chance in this league. But I just think that Mizorowski, Skeens is Mizorowski light. Let's just be honest, right? And Skeens he's also pretty heavy. He's had a lot of distractions with Libby Dunn. Let's be real about that too. I think Skeens is going to be fine because his delivery is still kind of weird, and he's got the size, 6'6", 260. He's got dominant size, but his gas is going by nobody anymore because other people have gas that's 8% faster than his.
What would you say is, I just want to talk about the Orioles a little bit because we know that they were sellers. They traded Adley Rutschman. And of course, this was a team that lost 115 games in 2008 that got them the number one overall pick to get Rutschman. And Mike Elias came in. He was the GM. He's still the GM. He's been part of this 8-year rebuild when we know about all the youngsters and the holidays that have come in, but they waved the white flag despite bringing in Pete Alonso and only being a couple games out of the wild card. So do you think they're right there with enough young prospects, whereas they just need a little bit of a reload, or is it a teardown now for Baltimore?
At this point, I'm really not sure because Baltimore still has Gunnar. Pete Alonso's got 27 and 77. He's not having a bad year. Tyler O'Neill's starting to hit. They got Christian Encarnacion Strand, who's got a lot of power. He's played well lately. They won. Honestly, they won their last 2 games. They lost the game before that against Rogers. I think he took on Dean Creamer for the Twins, and they lost that game. But yeah, I think the Orioles certainly. I mean, if they get hot, they could definitely do something this year. They do have, and Jackson Holliday's starting to play a little bit better. Looks like he's put on some weight finally. He was really light when he got into the league. I think he's about 205 now. He's only 5'11". That's kind of a problem for him. But he does have good hand-eye coordination. Henderson, Alonso, and Holliday are all starting to play pretty well. So, and their bullpen really isn't that bad. It's actually top 15. But yeah, their pitching has been a real problem. Shane Baz goes today. Who did they have yesterday? Oh, Brandon Young. Brandon Young was yesterday. He played really well yesterday. So yeah, I think the Orioles actually have a chance to do something, and getting rid of Rush when you have Basalo isn't a terrible move. But I will see what happens.
By the way, we're speaking with JD Sharp from Pro Wagering. The best team in baseball are the Brewers. The second best team is Tampa Bay. They're the only American League team playing over 600 ball. They're 6 games better than anybody else. And like their whole existence, even when they win pennants, we don't really talk about Tampa Bay. What should we know about Tampa Bay outside of a couple of stars that we know? Why are they the best team by far in the American League right now?
I mean, they might be the best team in the entire Major League Baseball. I mean, I do like the Brewers, obviously. I think adding Dustin May was the right move. Their bullpen's not great. It's okay. And obviously they still have, like Brandon Woodruff, Shane Drohan. They brought in, who did they bring in? Did they bring some other, Dustin May. I'm missing another pitcher that they have that's pretty good. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but they've, and they've got some pretty good. They've got some pretty, Kyle Harrison, who got lit up last night, but they've got some pretty good bats also. Bryce Terang might be one of the most underrated players in all of baseball. Jackson Chorio, Mitchell, pretty good team. But the Rays have Brian Baker, who leads Major League Baseball in saves. Nobody talks about him.
Nope.
They got a top 10 bullpen. Obviously Junior Caminero has probably the most power. I mean, he probably has the most explosive swing I've seen since Manny Ramirez, legitimately. Like that's who he hits the ball like. They brought in Liam Hicks. Yandy Ramirez has played well. Aranda's played well. Chandler Simpson has played well. Cedric Mullins has played well. So their guys play well. Like they have players that are consistently. Taylor Walls had 2 bombs last night. They're playing well, and they do good. They do good with what they have, pitching wise. McClanahan, I think he's actually hurt. Nick Martinez is top 5 in WAR. They brought in Peralta, which I thought was an absolutely genius move as well. Obviously, Drew Rasmussen, he goes tonight. He's 30-1 to win the Cy Young. He would actually probably be 5-1 if he didn't get lit up by the Yankees 4 or 5 games ago. But yeah, they just continually play well. They know what they're supposed to do. Their starting pitching is good enough. They can score a lot of runs when they need to. They have the most powerful bat that I've seen in the last, as far as a prospect, in the last 30 years, in Junior Caminero. Probably a future MVP, if not an MVP this year. He had a home run last night. He had a home run the night before. And he's actually not that bad. He's not great, but he's not bad defensively. So a great closer, solid bullpen, good enough starting pitching, surprising stars like Drew Rasmussen, 11-5, 2.75 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, barely walks in one ever. And the team is coached really well, and they know what they're supposed to do. And there's not really a lot of egos on that team. Even Caminero, he loves crushing the ball, but he barely speaks English. He's not really an ego guy, So I think the Rays they're actually kind of a force to be reckoned with. And they made some really nice moves, picking up Liam Hicks, who's got 67 RBIs. First game as a Ray, he hits a grand slam, and then picking up Freddie Peralta, another smart play.
All right, last question for you. Staying in the junior circuit, it's crazy when I see all these playoff teams last year in the AL, like Seattle and Detroit and Cleveland, not doing well. But what about Toronto? I mean, they were a blown save away from winning the World Series, or maybe 2 inches from a home plate from winning the World Series. And they are in last place. Now, they play in a super tough division. Everybody spends money there, but they're even worse than the Orioles right now. And I know Vlad Jr. had that huge home run drought at home, but why is Toronto so bad after being an inch away from being champions less than a year ago?
Vlad Jr. is why they're so bad. He's why they're so bad. They've been relying on him for years and years and years. He's just having a horrendous year. As Kazuma Okamoto, the rookie from Japan, he's played well. He's got like 25, 26 home runs. He's done his job. Dylan Cease is a Cy Young candidate. Obviously, Max Scherzer, a lot of their players that they have aren't pitching very well. Dylan Cease is number 2 to win the Cy Young. I think they won last night under Schlittler, obviously. But Vlad Jr. and George Springer, he's a little old. They gave up Bichette. Bo's playing really well for the Mets now. So they traded some players. They gave up Dalton Varsho. They gave up some guys. Alejandro Kirk's probably their best hitter. That's a real problem. He's maybe a top 10 hitter, as far as a catcher goes. Maybe at this point, maybe top 15, and he's their best hitter. So maybe you could say Okamoto was their best hitter, but it's not Vlad Jr. and it should be. So they should have gotten rid of Vlad Jr. They shouldn't have re-signed him. They should have traded him for some good prospects. And and Nate Pearson hasn't really worked out. Ricky Tiedemann hasn't really worked out. So their pitching prospects haven't done what they were supposed to do either. But I think I would blame Vlad Jr. at this point. And also, I'm not sure that team last year was that good.
Yeah, and Savage got hurt. I just wonder about that outfield with Sanchez and Bateman and Lukes. That's not really
it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah.
All right, JD Sharp Pro Wagering. Email him your questions and queries, sharp@betmypicks.com. JD, thanks for coming by, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rick.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We'll come on back on Sports Byline USA.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Everyone likes a success story. All In Lid Company was started by two young entrepreneurs who wanted to build a premium hat brand around quality products and an inspiring mindset. That mindset, All In Lid, isn't about what you wear, it's about how you think. Believe in yourself. This brand was created to inspire people to go all in on themselves, to chase the goals that matter to them, to bet on their vision, their work ethic, and their belief, even when the outcome feels uncertain. Founded at Florida State University in Tallahassee, the message quickly resonated with students who believed in the mentality behind it. Today, All In Lid represents more than premium headwear. It represents commitment, confidence, and ownership, a reminder to stop playing small and show up fuller for your goals. Their mission is simple: to inspire as many people as possible to go all in on themselves and their next chapter. AllInLid.com. Be sure to check it out. AllInLid.com.
Please let this nightmare stop! Please, I'm begging you to stop!
Snap! Rick Tittle invented FUBU.
All right, thank you for that. And some really good guests so far. And we have another huge one coming up in about 45 minutes. We're going to have Roy Jones Jr. with us. Dominic Jimenez is the man who wears many hats here at Byline. He's on the other side of the glass. I got a couple of sports trivia questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Corbin Carroll hit his 56th triple on Saturday. He is the leader of active players. This is only 604 games it took for him to get 56 triples. He passed two guys that were tied on 55, two guys who got to 55 in well over 3 times as many games, over 1,500 games. I only got one of them. Do you know the two players that he passed out of the three-way tie at 55?
Mike Trout.
That's the one I got.
Jose Altuve.
No.
Okay, he was actually kind of quick. George Springer.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll get it. Yeah, because I I was surprised. Starling Marte.
Didn't even know he was still playing.
All right, one more for you. Craig Kimbrell has signed on with Kansas City. It's the 12th team of his career, so he now is matched by 6 other guys who have played for 12 teams. I got 4 of them.
Edwin Jackson?
Yes. Now, Edwin Jackson played for 14 teams. He's the all-timer. And there's one other guy with 14 teams.
It's not Jamie Moyer, is it?
No.
He's played forever.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking
Um,
Jesse Orozco, and he's not on the
Jed
list
Lowry. He didn't play for enough teams. It is pretty bad. I don't know.
It's another A's pitcher. There's actually 2 A's pitchers, an A's slug. No, 3 more A's pitchers because the A's took everybody, and an A's slugger.
I don't know.
Okay. The other person with 14 is Rich Hill. Octavio Dotel had 13 teams. Then you get with 12 Mike Morgan, who played for everybody. I did not get Mike Morgan, although I should have. I did not get Ron Vallone. He's a name that I've forgotten. He bounced around everybody's bullpen. And the one I did get is the immortal Mr. Beer League Softball himself, Matt Stairs, who played for 12 teams. Thanks.
Did Solomon Torres make that list now that we're talking about it?
Nope. He did not play for 12 teams.
Okay.
That's a lot of teams. Matt Stairs is a Canadian, a guy who bought a Mexican League team, a guy who I'll never forget. You should have seen the fog at Candlestick on some of those night games. Interleague play, first year, Matt Stairs hit a grand slam that went into the fog at Candlestick, and I guess it went over the wall. That's the one play from Matt Stairs that I. Plus, he was little. He had a Jerry Curl mullet. He drank beer, and he had a beer belly. I'll always love Matt Stairs. Come on back.
This is an all sports news sports update.
Sports have always brought people together, but today's athletes, leagues, and organizations are reaching audiences that extend far beyond their home countries. As technology, travel, and media continue connecting fans around the world, sports are becoming an increasingly global industry with opportunities that were almost unimaginable just generations ago. Professional leagues now regularly stage games, tournaments, and promotional events outside their traditional markets. These international appearances introduce new fans to different sports while helping organizations expand their brands into regions where interest continues to grow. At the same time, athletes from around the world are bringing new styles of play, different perspectives, and diverse experiences to professional competition. Youth development has become increasingly international as well. Scouts routinely evaluate athletes from multiple continents, while academics and training programs prepare young competitors for opportunities at colleges, professional clubs, and national teams. For many athletes, the pathway to elite competition now includes experiences that cross borders and cultures. Media has played a major role in this transformation. Live streaming, multilingual broadcasts, and digital platforms allow fans to follow their favorite athletes and teams regardless of where they live. A supporter in one country can now watch competitions taking place thousands of miles away, creating communities that extend well beyond local markets. International partnerships are also becoming more common. Leagues, governing bodies, sponsors, and educational institutions continue working together to share expertise, expand participation, and promote the growth of sports worldwide. These collaborations help strengthen both established sports and emerging competitions. As the sports industry continues evolving, global connections are expected to play an even greater role in developing athletes, attracting new fans, and creating opportunities that benefit organizations across every level of competition. In other sports, sports museums and halls of fame continue preserving the stories that define athletic history. Through photographs, memorabilia, championship trophies, interactive exhibits, and personal collections, these institutions help fans better understand the athletes, teams, and moments that shaped generations of competition. By connecting today's fans with the accomplishments of the past, sports museums ensure that the traditions and history of athletics continue inspiring future generations. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. I saw something pretty funny a couple days ago. You know, the way that big league players, you know, in any sport really, you throw in a rule and they'll try and stretch it. Like we had hitters, they need to make eye contact with the pitcher by 8 seconds. And there's a certain player on the Yankees that the umpires hate, and he hates them back. You know who I'm talking about? He plays shortstop. But he got a walk, and he took off his Velcro plastic armor on his elbows, threw him down. He kind of stretched, looked around, and walked 1 mile per hour to the mound. And when he got there, the umpire said, "Ball one" on the next hitter. And Aaron Boone comes out. What? Aaron Boone always seems like, Aaron Boone he looks like a guy who comes home to his house and there's like 15 llamas walking around inside. What happened? What is this? But he came out and the guy goes, "That guy took too long. He's messing up the rhythm of the game." So we found out, and apparently an umpire can do this, if you cake it and you lag and they named a chair after him, Lazy Boy. If you take 5 hours to get to first base, the next guy gets a ball. And it's like, oh, thanks for the 1-0 count, Holmes. But that also shows you, in the grand scheme of things, ball one, who cares? Oh, no. You don't get anything for free in the pros. Oh, hell no. They will fight. It's like throw-ins in soccer. You could be leading 5-0 and the ball goes out and it should be your throw-in and the manager loses his mind. That should be all right. It's soccer. As soon as you throw it in, possession's going to change in 3 seconds anyway. But yeah, that's a new one. You don't have to be Charlie Hustle and sprint down the line, but walk somewhat briskly. That's what I would say. All right, we got another hour. Tune in, app, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Twitch TV, YouTube TV. Come on back.
Hear that overflow? That's not just rain. That's water pouring straight into your home's foundation. Clogged, broken, or missing gutters and downspouts can cause costly damage fast. We're talking foundation cracks, flooded basements, rotting wood, even mold. Most homeowners don't realize the damage until it's too late. We install, repair, and replace full-service gutter and downspout systems built to move water away from your home where it belongs. Call right now for a free gutter inspection. We'll show you exactly what's wrong and exactly how to fix it before it turns into a major repair bill. Call the Gutter Helpline now. Protect your home. Protect your foundation. Fix your gutters before they fail. Here's the number.
800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. 800-884-1561. That's 800-884-1561.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solution Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solution Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome back to the show. Hour 3 underway. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Networks. Julian's Auctions will be having a August 25th benefit sale that will support the Marshall Mathers Foundation. Of course, Marshall Mathers, MM, that's Eminem. And there's going to be a lot of interesting items on display for that. And joining us on the phone right now is Rick Williams, who has worked with Eminem a long time, designing a lot of his items and looks as well. Rick, welcome to the show. Tell us about your collaboration with Eminem and what you guys did together.
What's going on?
Hello, Rick. Rick. All right. Somebody's not ready for prime time. I remember one time back in the day when I used to do these fake bits. I interviewed a guy and I was like, my character on there was like, "Can you hold for a second?" And they're like, "Boop. Yeah, I'm on the radio with some dumb guy." And I'm like, "No, it's still me." He's like, "Oh, sorry." One of my favorites was George Kittle. I was talking to him and he's like going, "Ross Dwelly just came into the locker room. Mr. Ross Dwelly." I'm like, "Hey, George, you know you're on the radio right now. Hold on a second. Ross Dwelly, what's up, my man?" I was like, "Thanks, Kittle." Maybe he was mad when I started off the interview by saying we're now joined by George Kittle, no relation. Let's try it again. Rick Williams, are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
Good. I was just talking about the auction for Julian's August 25th, benefiting Marshall Mathers Foundation, and I know that you and him collaborated a lot over the years designing things. What was that relationship like?
Well, we've partnered. He did back in the day. They did a show about my life. I started a sneaker boutique in Detroit called Burn Rubber, and Paul and M partnered with us to kind of tell our story. And from then, I've just had built a strong relationship with Paul, and he reached out to me to come and speak to the sneakers and speak to what's going on, around this auction.
So you have designed for everybody: New Balance, Reebok, Puma,
Yeah.
Converse, FIFA, Adidas, Saucony, all of them. What is it about your style that seems to resonate worldwide?
Well, for me, I approach designing footwear with telling stories. For the designs that I've put out into the marketplace, I try to go deeper than a colorway. Try to find something that can resonate with the community that would be buying the product. Try to put more thought into it than just trying to reach for dollars.
So Eminem, what type of shoes did you design for him, and what is he like? What's his style?
So I didn't design the shoes for him, but M and the team worked with. They did a couple of major collaborations with the Jordan brand. So they came out with a couple Jordan 4s and some Jordan 3s. And for this auction in particular, he's actually auctioning off his personal collection. So there's a bunch of different Nikes, Adidas, and Pumas that he has signed and that he's putting up for auction to raise money for the Marshall Mathers Foundation. As far as some of the
Sorry, I thought you were done. I was just going to ask, what does the Marshall Mathers Foundation do? Who do they help out in that?
Okay.
Mhm.
So the Marshall Mathers Foundation, their primary goal is to help underserved youth in Detroit. And what they do is with the money that they raise, they have 30 to 50 smaller organizations that they partner with in the city to distribute those funds. And those organizations have different programs like literacy programs, after school programs, different programs that they administer to help raise up the youth in the city.
So I was looking at, you mentioned the threes, the Slim Shady PEs signed in black marker, starting at around 25K. There's some
Yeah.
Jordan 4s also as well. And then some Air Max 90s that stage worn as well, huh?
Yeah, and those the Jordans, the threes and the one of the fours, there were only 45 pairs ever made of those. And then there was the Jordan 4 Carhartt edition that Eminem did. There was 313 pairs of that. 10 of them went for an auction for the charity, and then the rest went to friends and family. So they're all three of those are ultra rare. And then, like you mentioned, the Air Max 90 was actually stage worn.
So then, you think about some of the gear he has. Are these the type of things that, I mean, if you're going to pay 25K, you put it in a glass case, or do you put them on and say, I'm wearing Eminem's J's?
It just depends on what type of person you are, Rick. If you're ready, if you got it to do that with, I would imagine most people are probably putting them in a case somewhere. But if you got the 25 to just do that with, they're still shoes. They can be worn.
I've just, as an aside, I've noticed this explosion in the Adidas Samba, and like every girl in high school and college the last couple of years had to have some white Sambas with the black
Black
stripes. And
stripe.
yeah, and when I was
Yeah.
growing up in the 70s, we would wear those things. They weren't very comfortable, but I think it's cool because nowadays shoes have never been more comfortable, and yet people will still say, "Oh, I'll wear these like flat pieces of leather because they look cooler."
Yeah. They're definitely, but a lot of those, even they have, the technology has grown over the years. Even the insoles have changed. So a lot of times, the shoes that might have been uncomfortable back in the day, they feel great now.
So tell us a little bit about the series Detroit Rubber. What was that at with the Shady Films?
So that was actually, I started a sneaker boutique back in 2007 with a friend of mine, and we just had, it was very early. It was in a lot of collaborations and a lot of things like that, and we had a mutual friend that and Paul was looking to create content around this area of the sneaker boutiques, and it was like our store was like a third space, like a barber shop or a church where people would just come and hang out, and that was like interesting, at that time. So what Paul did was he reached out and we did this show that kind of gave people a behind the scenes look into the culture of what was happening in this sneaker boutique in the Metro Detroit area.
And just to clarify, who's Paul?
Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager. If
Oh,
you
okay.
listen to any of the albums, he's the one on the interlude.
Oh,
That's the Paul he's talking to.
he's not Stan then.
No, Stan's a fan.
I know. I'm just playing. All right. Well, everybody should check this out. There's a preview today, and it's going to be August 25th, a benefit sale supporting the Marshall Mountainers Foundation. And this will be at Julien's, Juliens. We've been speaking with designer Rick Williams. Rick, before I let you go, how many sneakers do you got? How many pairs?
Me, there's hundreds, and it just rotates. A lot of time in my older age, I give away a lot of shoes now because I've been fortunate, to have much. So I hand them out a lot now. I don't really keep them like I used to.
All right, good stuff, everybody. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. We will come on back on Sports Byline.
You're probably sick of me now, ain't you, mama? I'ma make you look so ridiculous now. I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. One more time. I said, I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast, and I've had a guest each and every segment, and I'll have one in the next segment. The great Roy Jones Jr., pound for pound, the best fighter of all time. Talk to him. I have a new nickname for him too. I'm going to throw it out, see if he likes it. I don't know if Jared Harris really liked the MacArthur Park question, but I have a nickname for Roy Jones. We'll try it out. But we have open lines. Not just open lines, but open lines. 1-800-878-PLAY. You ain't got no alibi. You're ugly. By the way, can I just... as I said before, these clickbait things they want us to care about, like the Wisconsin primaries. Can I just tell you that Wisconsin primaries, unless you're that person running, has nothing to do with anything in your whole life. Your whole life, forever. It won't have anything to do with anything, a Wisconsin primary. Rick, it's vitally important. It's a battleground state. The blah, blah, blah. But I thought it was hilarious that Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, remember, Mike Lindell in 2020, when Trump said the election was stolen because of fake votes, voter fraud, And he went, yeah, voter fraud. He had to, like Mike Lindell had to pay Dominion Voting Systems $2.3 million on libel damages. And so he's running for governor of Minnesota, and he basically, not officially, but it looks like he's lost the Republican primary to Lisa Demuth. And he's claiming voter fraud. This is Republican against Republican now. It's a Republican. I mean, if you lose, remember, that's what Roy Cohn always told Trump. It's like, never, ever admit you did something wrong and always talk about how great you are. That's what he was told time and time again, because then people will say, oh, yeah, you're right. All right. This normally wouldn't be something I would talk about, a pitching coach getting fired, but I do think it's the sign of the times. Yes, Irish. Because Mike Maddox got fired as Angels pitching coach, and both of his pitching assistants, Darryl Scott, the assistant pitching coach, and bullpen coach Dom Chiti, were fired from Kurt Suzuki, the rookie manager, his staff. Just 43 games left. The Angels are the worst team in baseball. The Angels' ERA is over 4.5. It's the 7th worst. They have the most walks in all of baseball. Now, if you don't know, the interim general manager after Perry Manassian got fired, his brother Zach with the Giants helping out Buster Posey, by the way. The interim general manager is John Mozeliak, the guy who ran the Cardinals after, forever. And then they ran him out of town finally. But he's in charge. And Mike Maddox is the guy, former pitcher. We know his brother is a Hall of Fame pitcher. But when he comes out to the man with his big stash, he puts his hand on your shoulder when he talks to you. He does that every time. His left hand, your right shoulder. And he has been part of some very good staffs over the year. But the reason he and his assistant and the bullpen coach got fired is because they weren't making sufficient use of technology and analytics. Mozeliak said, no one thing just stood out. I just want to use all the tools that you see pitchers use today. I think there was becoming some level of frustration with the inconsistency of all that. And so ultimately, that's when we started thinking about, do we need to make a change? I do feel like we have a lot of great resources that we should be taking greater advantage of. So if you care, and I doubt even Angels fans care at this point, really, Tim Levesque is interim pitching coach, and Michael Wirtz, he pitched for the Cubs, he pitched for the A's. He was a pretty good reliever. He's the bullpen coach. Levesque was the pitching coach of Double-A Rocket City with the Cardinals last year. Mozeliak brought him over, so he's his guy. Mozeliak said of Levesque, quote, he's a smart guy who really understands where the game is at, and I think he'll be a good resource for Suzuki. But this disaster of a season, GM gone, pitching coach gone, assistant pitching coach gone, bullpen coach gone, 11 consecutive losing seasons with a team that spends lots of cash. Remember the owner, Artie Moreno? It's for sale. Okay, this guy is bidding this much. This lady's bidding this much. This consortium is bidding. No, never mind. I'm not selling it. What? Never mind. I'm not selling it. Okay. By the way, the longest active drought in the majors, 12 years with no playoffs. And of course, that one year they got swept by the Yankees. Mike Trout's only playoff games, none with Ohtani. Now, Zook, who I got to know with the A's, and I wish him the best, but not as Angels manager. I'm sorry. But a SoCal guy via Hawaii. He said, quote, I appreciated everything they did. They worked so hard. They prepared. At the end of the day, Mo and I felt like the path moving forward in these last 43 games, we felt that this was the best way. Mo and I, you know what? I don't need to ask Mike Maddox. They're like, Kurt Suzuki, what do you know about managing? Do you know how many big league games Mike Maddox has been a part of? Mo and I decided. So they asked Reed Detmers, who is one of their only good pitchers. He's a lefty in the bullpen. And they said, are you surprised that these guys got fired? He said, quote, everybody is surprised. I mean, if we have the information, we might as well use it, right? So Detmer said on his own, he would evaluate his biomechanics. He said, I'm not saying we didn't use it all the time, but there's definitely times when we could have used it. In my eyes, it's only going to make you better. So Reed Detmers is being a company man, but he's also just being honest. Now, I think it's the old paralysis by analysis. It's just too much. But, you know, when you think about launch angle and spin rate and all these things. But, you know, Mozeliak came in when Moreno said, can you just mind the store? Well, he's minding the store and he's doing the firings. But let's say they start doing better biomechanics. Is that going to make a crappy team better? Mozeliak said, quote, there's so many more resources out there that really every team in baseball is utilizing. So we're just making sure that the Angels are up to speed with that and leveraging this. I know our research and development team upstairs, they're providing a lot of useful things I think we can be taking advantage of. And then moving forward, what can we do to make this a state-of-the-art place for the player growth? What you don't want is have players outsourcing those things. You want to be the internal model, and hopefully we can accomplish that. So, by the way, Maddox is 65 years old, and he was on a one-year deal, so he's probably there. But I mean, I remember him very well as a pitcher. He pitched 15 years in the big leagues, almost 25 years as a big league pitching coach. Brewers, Nationals, Cardinals, Rangers, Angels. But when he came back to the Rangers in 2023, of course, they won the World Series, and the Rangers had the best ERA in baseball last year under Maddox. And so, you know, a lot of times if the players aren't hitting, what do? You fire the hitting coach. You know, and the pitchers aren't pitching well, you fire the pitching coach. There had to be some kind of disconnect. The only question I would have, and I hate the Angels, so I really don't care. But the only question I would have would be, did you give Maddox a chance to change his ways? Like, did you say, look, all this stuff that's coming from upstairs from these nerds, these brainiacs, these boffins, you need to start using it or we're going to move on. And if he said, screw that stuff, I'll never use that stuff. But it also sounds like a lot of like, you know what? I have to do my own biomechanics. What's that? Is that a class between psych and poli-sci? No, I need to do my own bone scan between starts. But I could also see Maddox going, dude, I've won World Series. I know what I'm doing. Okay. And remember, Rick Peterson had that whole thing with Dr. James Andrews, and they had their own way of breaking things down. And he was the guru that helped Barry Zito, and the whole throwing the football thing that Nolan Ryan started doing. Logan Webb does that now. I mean, a lot of guys that do that. But as I said, it's a sign of the times. New guy comes in. Are you using all the technology? No, I don't need it. You don't need it? Okay, your mama needs it because you're fired. All right, let's take a break. Come on back with Roy Jones Jr.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
And by the way, can I just say, Rick, that Rick Tittle is one of the great names of all time.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
All right, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. In the tradition of Friday Night Fights, we will have something. It's called Fights Under the Lights on Friday. It'll be at Constellation Field in Sugar Land, Texas, but you can see it on the debut of the platform Combat Vision TV. And on the mic will be Hector Camacho, Julie Rodriguez, the great Al Bernstein, and pound for pound, the greatest fighter of all time. And our guest, we're quite happy to have him, Roy Jones Jr. Roy, welcome to the show. And, you know, I'm thinking about all your nicknames, Captain Hook and all that, but I got a new nickname for you. Are you ready for my idea?
I am.
All right. You remember the rapper 2 Chainz? How about you, 5 Belts?
5 Belts is not bad. It's not a bad one. How you doing, though? You good?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad you like it.
That's awesome.
So what's that transition like? Because, you know, Al Bernstein used to call your fights, and now you're sitting next to him, and now you're watching. What's it like for you now on the other side?
Oh, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun because
there wasn't many people next to Al Bernstein to really correct them when they said things that were wrong about me and my upcoming. But when I'm there, I can correct them when they say things that are wrong about these new youngsters up and coming. So now I can have it from a boxing standpoint. I can speak it from a fighter standpoint point of view rather than just have a conversation go off what they know. You know.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing I want to bring up, and I'm sure you're probably tired of talking about, but the first thing I think of when I think of you is the entire nation. We were so mad when you got screwed at the Olympics in Seoul. Have you completely moved on from that, or do you still think, man, that was messed up?
Well, I mean, I had moved on from once I went to the back that night and told the guy, asked the guy, did he really think he won? And he said no. I kind of moved from it then, but to be honest with you, what really helped me even in life continue on because that was a motivational situation where I felt like God used that situation to motivate me to go be an overachiever and made me go do more things, many more things than I probably ever would have tried to do my own had I won a gold medal. So I think that was God's way of pushing me to go to that overachieving status than to just being what I thought I could be. You know, it's like God knows what we can be way more than we do. So I think God used that as a way to push me to be an overachiever. Secondly, 2 years ago, to be honest with you, the guy brought me the gold medal back and said his family and him wanted to give me the gold medal no matter what the committee or anybody else says. They wanted to put the gold medal in my hand because they felt like I was the rightful owner of it. So now I do have the gold medal at my house, and it does help you sleep better at night.
I did not know that. That's really cool.
Yep.
And then growing up, your dad, Roy Jones Sr., he was a boxer. He was a war hero. I mean, what was it like having a dad like that?
I mean, it was fun. It was cool because, to have a dad who's done so much, he had to learn a lot of things too. And a lot of things he learned to do and to not do, which he instilled a lot of it in me. So he kind of saw what it would have taken for him to be a great fighter, but he couldn't do it himself. So he kind of put it in me, and that was a beautiful thing.
So I've always, when I was growing up, I'm a little bit older than you, and in high school, those great middleweight fights with, Hearns and Leonard and Hagler, uh, Manos de la Piedra, all these great fights. And so I became interested in the sweet science, the tactics of it. And that's why, and I don't hate it, but I have an aversion to MMA. I don't know. It's brutal. It's a street fight, people kicking each other and everything. How are we in the boxing world right now? Because I don't want to see Logan Paul fight, Tyson. I want to see real fighters. How are we in the sport when I know a lot of people are kind of going to MMA?
A lot of us are working on trying to bring boxing back, me in particular, to what it used to be. Money corrupts a lot of things. You find high officials in life that become corrupt by money. You find judges that are corrupt by money. You find a lot of people that corrupt by money. Right now, boxing has basically been corrupted by money. So now more people are fighting to see how much money they can gain by getting more fans on social media and getting those people to pay to buy their fight instead of banking on being the best fighter out there. You know what I'm saying? So now the real money is if you can get more followers, you can get real money. So it don't matter about you being a better fighter. But right now, one of the highest, probably one of the highest people to see and is making the most money is Ryan Garcia. Is he the best? No, he's not the best one, but he has the best social media presence. So his pay is equal to any of the best fighter fighting because of that social media presence. So now social media has changed the game. It ain't about how good you are, it's how popular you can be.
Mm. And Ryan's an interesting guy because, I actually talked to De La Hoya about him, who was managing him, and he kind of shook his head, because on the one hand, when he was like, F y'all, I'm a drink, I'm a party, and I'm a still win, and then he did, and I was like, I kind of appreciate that about him. But then he kind of apologized too. But what about Ryan just as a talent?
Well, he's a great talent. People don't realize he's actually a better talent than people think he is. Just that his outside the ring activity sometimes bother with him, but he's definitely a better talent than people think he is. So I'm not saying he's all show because he's not. I'm just saying that he does have a lot of following, so people pay to see it. And he's a good looking guy. He's one of those guys that could probably be a model. And he can fight. So you got a guy that can be a model and he can fight. How could people not want to see him? All you want is the girls to love you for sure. And if the girls love you, everybody's gonna pay attention. The girls love him, so everybody's pay attention to him. And he got enough hook that'll make anybody watch it. So he is a guy who he's like in the middle right there. He's good enough to be considered at the level among the best, and he's popular enough that he can command the payment of the best. So that's what you want to be, you know.
So for you, when you were coming up all through the ranks, Golden Gloves, probably what, a skinny 120-pound kid coming all the way up. when you first sparred with Sugar Ray, like how much of you were in awe and how much of you were like, I'm gonna show Sugar Ray that I can fight?
Yeah, well, none of me was in awe. My goal was to show Sugar that I could fight, you know. And Sugar, you know, he was smart, you know. He set himself up. He had to hit with a good little left hook to show me that, hey, I can hit you too, but I just ain't in shape to hit you like I want to, which was cool. But I'm like, yeah, you can hit me, but I ain't going nowhere, and I'm gonna keep on hitting you. So it was great. It was a great situation. But my thing was, I had to show him that, hey, you are now. I am what's about to happen next. And for me and you in here right now, I am now. So, and that's what it kind of was. That's the way I looked at it. But Sugar gave me some great pointers, taught me some things that lasted me and helped me in desperate times in my career when I was in fights that I had problems catching guys. Some of the things that he showed me I would use, and they worked. So I really will always forever be in debt to Sugar Ray for the things that he taught me as a youngster coming up. I knew I wanted to be able to beat him, but that didn't mean you couldn't learn from him because he was already where I wanted to be. So you'd be stupid to not think you can learn from somebody who's already acquiring the position that you seek to gain one day.
You know, it's interesting too, Roy, when we're speaking with Roy Jones Jr., a couple more questions here. When you were talking about promoters and about how money makes the world go around, as we know, and popularity, and you think about, I mean, the big names, Don King and Bob Arum, then you get like the Al Haymans, Eddie Hearns, Frank Warrens, whatever. What was playing that game like too, when your promoter's sometimes more famous than the boxer?
You got to remember, I started my own promotion company called Square Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my own thing. I stayed independent by the grace of God. And that's just what God led me to do. That's the way He led me to do it, and I was able to do it my own way. I probably was one of the first and only ones to come up and do it my way out the box. You understand me? And that really served very good dividends for me because it allowed me to maintain control of my own career for the most part.
How many times did Don King say, "Come on, Roy, let me represent you"?
I mean, he did it several times, but each time I denied it. Only time I really worked with Don was, don't get it wrong, Don is a great promoter because he made some guys who weren't really in that realm or shouldn't have been able to be millionaires. He made them millionaires. So he did a lot of great things too. But I was one of those people that got it best enough that I didn't necessarily need him. So I worked with him a few times, like I worked with him when I fought Ruiz. I worked with him when I fought Felix Trinidad because I had those as his fighters and I wanted him, so I had to work with him. But for myself, no, he's not the kind of person that I want to work with on a daily basis because for me, the way I sometimes judge people is I want to look at you and see how you take care of your kids. If you're not taking care of your kids, then how can I expect that you're going to take care of mine? You feel me? So when I see you do something bad to one fighter, that lets me know what you would do to me if you had me in that position. And that's how I kind of make my judgment.
Very cool. I'm going to ask you something. I always ask boxers. I'll give you an example. Last time I had De La Hoya on, I said, "Who hit you the hardest?" And he said, "Ike the Bazooka Corti hit him the hardest." How about you, Roy?
I'm gonna be honest with you. A guy named Eddie Evans that I fought very early in my career. He probably hit me harder than anybody hit me in my life. I was so mad that when the referee stopped the fight, I didn't want to be stopped because I still felt like I needed to hit him a few more times to catch back up for that one lick that he hit me. So he hit me harder. But I tell you something else now. Tell you something else. Murphy Sosa missed me with a shot that I think would have probably been, it would put most people lights out. When he missed me with it, I felt the wind go by my face. I said, "Oh goodness, he trying to get me okay." So he missed me with the hardest shot, and Eddie Evans hit me with the hardest shot.
Yeah, just look at Eddie Evans, 1991. You got a TKO in 3 rounds though.
Yeah, but that ain't enough. I need to beat him a little bit more for as hard as he hit me. I wasn't satisfied. I needed just another round to get all my licks back. Make sure I got it all back. You hear me?
All right. I mentioned combatvisiontv.com, the Combat Vision TV app. This has been invented by Bobby Harrison, and then we're going to debut with this on Friday for Fights Under the Lights. This is kind of exciting, a whole new way to watch boxing. Huh?
I like it, and hopefully it'll grow into something good because like I tell people all the time, Friday night fans didn't disappoint Friday Night Boxing. Friday Night Boxing disappointed the Friday Night fans. And we got to get that back,
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, everybody check it out. As I mentioned, check out Combat Vision TV, and that's going to be this Friday, Fights Under the Lights, with you'll have commentating Hector Camacho, Julia Rodriguez, Al Bernstein, and our guest, Five Belts, Roy Jones Jr. Hey, Roy, thanks for coming on, man.
And that'd be Hector Camacho Jr. and Roy Jones Jr.
All right. Well, I have that. Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Good stuff. I like that. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. Come on back on Byline.
Everyone likes a success story. All In Lid Company was started by two young entrepreneurs who wanted to build a premium hat brand around quality products and an inspiring mindset. That mindset, All In Lid, isn't about what you wear, it's about how you think. Believe in yourself. This brand was created to inspire people to go all in on themselves, to chase the goals that matter to them, to bet on their vision, their work ethic, and their belief, even when the outcome feels uncertain. Founded at Florida State University in Tallahassee, the message quickly resonated with students who believed in the mentality behind it. Today, All In Lid represents more than premium headwear. It represents commitment, confidence, and ownership, a reminder to stop playing small and show up fuller for your goals. Their mission is simple: to inspire as many people as possible to go all in on themselves and their next chapter. allinlid.com.
Sometimes life changes and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
Like kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my De La clothes or is it just my De La soul? What I do ain't make believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being De La, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
Rick Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. And that was definitely a packed 3 hours. Very interesting guests. We had RAF Wing Commander Andrew Green, who's now the fastest human on Earth, literally on Earth, over 400 miles per hour in the Salt Flats. We had Jared Harris. We had Michael Russell Gunn for the movie Brink of War. We had Christian Thomas for the Portland Rockstar Energy Open. We had author Margaret Eastman Smith for her book A Spectacular Inheritance. We had author Lisa Gardner for her book You'll Be Sorry. We had J.D. Sharp with Pro Wagering. We had Rick Williams, Ice Cube, what's his name? Eminem's designer. And then finally, I really enjoyed that interview with Roy Jones Jr. I thought he was great. We'll get a link to that. We'll repost that as well. So as you can tell from this eclectic mix of guests that I have, it's weird, but it's also a privilege because I get to talk to so many different people, and this isn't a brag. It's just I don't know if I even would brag about it, but no one in the country interviews more people every day from so many different places on the planet. You know, I could literally be doing a trans interview, going into a Holocaust interview, going into an NHL draft interview, going into a gardening interview. That sounds like a typical Tittle show. But just for S's and gigs, last night I was looking on iTunes, and some of my old interviews and pods are just shows that have been podcasted or made into pods. And just dozens and dozens of names I've never heard of. And then some names I was like, I interviewed him, I interviewed her, and they're big names and I don't remember. But I bring this up because last night I was going through 4 years ago. It says Rick Tittle interview with Justin Baldoni. Do we remember? Is Darren over there? Does he remember why we had Justin Baldoni on the show 4 years ago? But anyway, I have no recollection of it. That's the guy that's embroiled in this horrible lawsuit with Blake Lively.
It was just for like his new project.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's just so anyway, I'll say it's a privilege to bring such titillation elevation to the troops and to everyone.